Shower Thoughts Best of the Week number 1. During a nuclear explosion, there is a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. Students often wonder why they have to learn so much stuff like science/chemistry/biology that they'll never use, while simultaneously wondering why adults are stupid enough to not believe in modern medicine. It's risky to buy soda right after an earthquake. Before a movie starts at a theater, it's just 60 people sitting in the dark eating corn. We are probably simultaneously the fittest and the fattest generation of humans ever in history. Farting is one of the few things everyone universally has in common, yet is one of the most universally embarrassing acts. It is so unlikely to be in your 30s and have 5 close friends, that a show had to be made about it. Once you reach a certain level of fame, you can autograph $1 and make it worth more, effectively generating infinite money. Luke and Leia weren't the least bit disturbed that they kissed after finding out they were siblings, because farm boys and royalty are used to that sort of thing. There are probably people who assume they were ghosted by someone they met on a dating app, never finding out that they passed away in an accident. Essentially, literally being ghosted. As a species, we can travel vast distances in a few hours, we can send probes to other planets, we can educate ourselves about numerous subjects with only a few clicks, we can combat diseases that would normally kill us, but we still cannot deselect a flaw on an elevator. Dying from just sitting and doing nothing is life's way of saying you've been kicked due to inactivity. If everyone buried a copy of Shrek in their backyard, future archaeologists will either believe we praised him or feared him. An interesting thing to think about is how long it would take anyone to notice if everyone in the world stopped hiccuping. You don't realize how hard your legs swing when casually walking through your home until one of them collides with a cat who has perfectly positioned itself to be assaulted. Space is considered futuristic, even though it's been here since the very beginning. In TV shows, the bullies are generally poor and dirty, when in reality it's the poor and dirty kids who get bullied. Asking people who don't comment why they don't comment is kind of pointless. When someone says the book was better than the movie, they're just telling you their imagination is pretty dope. Pugs are the Danny DeVito of dogs. When a character gets killed off on a TV show, we're basically watching someone lose their job in a really brutal way. If reincarnation was real, a lot more people would just kill themselves to respawn. Cats probably don't realize we can't see in the dark like they can, so they probably think we step on them on purpose. Any plastic ninja sword is an authentic Chinese sword. The cure to dementia could have been found by a person with dementia, and they forgot about it. Children never seem to ask why their parents do not get presents from Santa. You'd think the generation that grew up playing Oregon Trail would have more respect for some of these diseases. If it looks stupid after you've written it down, then the problem is that it also was stupid before you wrote it down. There was once a much simpler time where Farmville posts were the most annoying thing on social media. Previously on in TV shows is a kind of spoiler. The scenes shown are always relevant to what's going to happen in the episode you're watching. Edit: I'm just going to expand a bit for the people who aren't getting it. I understand that the point of previously on is to remind viewers of the plot and characters. What I meant by this thought was that very often in TV shows like Game of Thrones, Lost, The Walking Dead, etc., there are moments in the previously on that occurred 2 seasons ago, like showing a character that was presumed dead. From a lot of those moments, it's pretty easy to guess what's going to happen in the episode you're watching. If you give away a used mattress that only a couple people had sex on, no one will take it. If you rent a used mattress that hundreds of people have had sex on, people will make reservations for it. We just socially accepted a football field as a unit of measurement. As a child, you used to get a lot of praise if you ate all your food and took good naps. As an adult, people look down upon you for snacking and sleeping too much. People who think they are happy just have the right amount of sadness in their lives. An infinite number of monkeys mashing randomly will eventually produce the complete works of Shakespeare. However, 88 times more often, they'll produce the almost complete works of Shakespeare, with just the last letter wrong, and that's gotta be frustrating. Your brain makes your heart work, and your heart makes your brain work. Due to deepfakes and editing advancement, there's only a very small window of time in human history where video evidence was important. If life gives you lemons, remember that they are the result of humans crossbreeding bitter oranges with citrons and do not occur naturally. Therefore life never gave you any lemons to begin with, we made them up. Mozzarella sticks are reverse mac and cheese. One is wheat sticks with cheese on the outside, and the other is cheese sticks with wheat on the outside. There are probably millions of songs out there which you'll love, but never find before you die. Your sports must be really boring if you need half-naked women on the sideline to keep people's attention. Rapunzel may have healing powers in her hair, but nobody gives her any credit for having the strongest scalp of all. We have to thank Home Alone 2 for pointing out how flawed our airport security was in the 90s. Every time someone older than you dies, you rank up in the world's oldest person championship. When you are tired at night, everything is funny. When you are tired during the morning, nothing is funny. We hate 5 seconds unskippable ads, but we like 30 seconds ads we can skip after 5 seconds. Humans are so secure in their ability to survive as a species that at some point they began doing high-risk activities just for fun. Even the creatures we think of as ferocious and intrepid don't do that. In the olden days, the poor entertained the rich, today the rich entertains the poor. After we plant 20 million trees, we will proceed to chop down millions more for Christmas trees, reversing all the previous work. You might like to imagine there's 0 bodies buried under your home, but the average number buried under a building is greater than 0. Behind every relatable post is a guy hoping that everyone does the same weird thing that he does. With facial recognition technology becoming more and more advanced, one day there could be an app which shows you all the photos and videos you had accidentally been in. When you open a bottle of soda and it makes that PSSD sound, you just raised the pressure of the whole room. There is one human being on this earth physically and mentally superior to everybody else, and they don't even know it. You never realize how bumpy a car ride is until you try to write on a piece of paper. Nutella's greatest achievement was successfully convincing people that chocolate is a good idea for breakfast as long as you put it on bread. The people most responsible for the destruction of the world will be the ones who will have the greatest chance of survival. At some point the phrase "plenty of fish in the sea" won't be used because all of them will be dead from pollution and it won't make sense. People with glasses probably have an easier time falling asleep, since taking off their glasses to go to bed is a signal to the brain to just shut down, since they have been doing the same thing for years. Another one bites the dust was the pumped-up kicks of the 80s. You're just one painful experience away from being a completely different person. Taking notes in history class is rewriting history. Shaping doggy treats as bones is more to please the human than the dog. Dog doesn't care. It smells of the biscuit and it just wants the biscuit. Because the laws of physics that govern electricity are the same across the universe, and most advanced civilizations probably use electricity, electricians are probably the most intergalactically universal trades that exist. You always notice your first hiccup, but you rarely ever notice your last. Now seems a good time to develop an app that can measure how many miles our fingers have scrolled.